I'm the one who kind of wants to put an exclamation point on things. And I'm like,
really?
hey, we have to have a moment. Yeah, you know what I mean? So she's like,
you putting her in a 30-pound bejeweled top.
You sound like her right now.
Last time we sat down, we were just coming off of season 1 of Wednesday, and everyone in the entire Who What Wear team was obsessed with everything that you were doing with Jenna. And we were very excited for the return of Wednesday this year because we knew that we would have lots of incredible looks to write about. And thank you for bringing them to us. You make our job much easier. First of all, everyone should go back and listen to that first episode because you did such an amazing job of walking us through your trajectory, Jenna's style trajectory. All of it was fabulous. But let's talk about it. We'll give like a little bit of a synopsis to start, and then we'll get into everything that you've been up to since then, if that sounds okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Okay, so you started working with her, as we established before, when she was just 14 and had the job of helping her transition out of really being perceived as just a Disney star. So how did you guys start to figure out what her true style was?
Honestly, at the beginning of her career, we kind of followed a blueprint, so to speak. Zendaya,
that's a
what
good one.
she was doing, Selena Gomez, Dove Cameron, Sabrina Carpenter. They all had a show on Disney, and they kind of followed a business model, how they kind of transitioned.
Not broken.
Yeah. But I think as she got older, everything that we were wearing wasn't representative of who she was, as she was obviously discovering herself. And I'm discovering new things about her as we started to work together. So I think just as we started spending more and more time together, she started booking different types of roles. And I think we just kind of explored what her actual personal style was and also what she would gravitate to in wearing on red carpets and press and stuff like that. And I think Wednesday was the first time we really had a full-on press tour.
Well, the evolution has been phenomenal. It has been really interesting to watch. I can see how in sync the two of you are and how you continue to like push it and move forward. So how much of the Gothic influence and sort of the edgier, more dramatic and like extremely beautiful aesthetic that we see in her looks today is Wednesday inspired or perhaps method dressing or influenced by it? And how much of it is it just like what the two of you gravitate towards? For example, like if starting tomorrow, she suddenly decided like, all I want to do is be the next Julia Roberts in a certain era of her career and do lighthearted rom-coms, would it suddenly change like her press looks or your strategy?
Interesting question. Yeah. I think everything that we do is obviously very authentic to her personal taste. And I think her being a fan of the horror genre, I think that just naturally sometimes when you're looking at two things on a rack and something's, you know, bubblegum pink or aqua blue, she's going to gravitate to the grays and the blacks just because, or even the earth tones. I think naturally that's just her aesthetic. So if she was to book one of those types of rom-com roles, I think we would find some way to kind of go into that, you know, the darker palettes.
Rom-com silhouette, but in black.
Exactly.
So talking about that style journey, there is a noticeable shift and continued evolution, as we've discussed, from season 1 to season 2. For season 1, there was still a lot of black and white and lace and leather and tailoring, and lots of those aspects showed up again for season 2, but I feel like you really expanded upon that original framework. No one knew what a hit it was going to be when you were preparing for press for season 1. You very much knew what a hit it was when you were preparing for season 2 press. So what did those conversations look like? What was the strategy like? What was the planning like?
Jenna is, you know, a family to me, and I was like, I just don't want to disappoint her in this first fitting. You know, at the end of the day, like I was like, what are we gonna do? And like I don't like to like bombard her with questions while because she was filming another project, and I know she's like paying attention to that. So I'm just out.
So you just had to do magic on your own and hope that it worked?
Well, it was a rainbow of options or directions that I just kept playing back and back in my head. And I'm like, we've done the black and the lace and the sheer. Like, I don't want it to be boring when I go into this fitting with her. I want her to feel like something new, you know, like she has to promote this. She has to feel great in what she's wearing. And I was just like, what am I going to do here? Because I'm like, obviously, all of those elements, black and lace and all of those make sense. But I'm like, there has to be another way to kind of capture the essence of, you know, the Tim Burton world. So I just started pulling away, like anything that, kind of inspired me. But I like a week before I'm about to fly to London to have this large fitting for 22 looks. And she's like, hey, what are you thinking for this Wednesday tour? And I'm like, I love that you reached out because I'm like, I want to know what you're thinking. And she's like, well, I just want to feel mature. Don't want to feel like a child. I'm really feeling in this 90s world. Just 90s inspired clothing in her personal closet. You know what I
like
mean?
Meaning minimalist.
Minimalist, very
like almost
really,
stark.
Absolutely.
Yep. Like old Calvin Klein.
Old Calvin. Absolutely. You were hitting it. Yeah, exactly. I just started doing some major edits. So at that point, I was like, all right, cool. Kate Moss, Christina Ricci, Winona Ryder, and like old editorials with them. And they still captured the essence of goth, but in a glam way.
Yep.
And so I just looked at a lot of references there. And flew to London and was like, all right, cool. It's a shot in the dark. It was a full room of, I don't know, it was too many racks. It took a day to set up everything.
You wanted options.
I wanted options. I wanted to make sure that she was covered because we didn't have a lot of conversation. That was the only conversation. It was about 10 text messages. It wasn't much about the direction that she wanted to go. So I was like, still not sure what direction we were going to go with. So
I feel like it's like a choose your own adventure at that point.
No, absolutely.
We start with this one piece and we can go here, or we could go here, or we could go here, and you're prepared for all of it. But you have to be prepared for all of it because
absolutely
she is in the middle of something and you can't stress her out by asking her 1,000 questions, and you just have to figure it out there, right?
That's a perfect analogy. We get there, and honestly, the Ashi Studio was the first thing. She was like, what is that? And I was like, oh no, you thought she didn't like it? She's like, oh, what did you bring to this fitting? Like, because we talk to each other like that. She's like, that's really cool. Like, I want to try that on. And that kind of set the tone for that choose your own adventure. And I was like, all right, cool.
It's interesting because it's like, yes, it's setting the tone for we're going directional and a strong point of view and like almost elements of futurism with that minimalism, but then also there's like slight gothic romance to it in its own way, but it's subtle. It's not as literal as lace might be necessarily. I just want to get this description right. So it was a semi-sheer latex and it has a really subtle snake skin print. So it almost looks wet in certain places. And I love it had that crazy cinched waist and then the flared hip. And I think part of what really, I mean, there's a lot that works about it, but then when you throw in the glam with like the bleached eyebrow and the strong lip and like the low pony with the ears just peeking through a little bit, it's like the right dress, but then how the whole thing comes together. Because if she had done all of this and then tried to go old Hollywood for glam, that is a very different effect and it negates the work. How do you also work with the team to say like, this is the full direction? Because truly the glam choices made it all sing and all in such an editorial voice, but that part's out of your control. So how do you get it all to work together?
Thankfully, we have a beautiful team. Having people that are totally collaborative and malleable and want to make sure that everyone on the team is happy with their work. And this is a piece of art. You know what I mean? It's like something that,
it's sculptural and minimal.
Absolutely. And I think Jenna, being a lover of art, wanted to always keep to the integrity of the look because it comes from her. Like, obviously, I'm always going to fight for a fashion look, but she knows like, hey, this is what it needs to give. I need to give this or whatnot. So,
and that is giving editorial.
Yeah.
Which you do not always see on the red carpet.
Yeah.
Which is why I think we all like the Met Gala and like less so the Oscars.
Exactly. It's interesting, you know? And interesting could be on two sides. Like some people love it and some people are like, what? You know what I mean? So, but that's great. It's art, and that's what art is. And so conversation with Caesar and Melanie, hair and makeup. As soon as we did the fitting, I'm sending out the images and they're like, oh, wow. Like everyone's wheel starts to turn. Because usually like this was 2 days before the premiere, you know what I mean? So usually like we have more than a couple days that we know what we're doing on a press tour. But again, she's filming and what she's filming, she currently has no eyebrows. And that wasn't actually even supposed to happen. But honestly, when we went through the fitting pictures, everyone's like,
wait,
this helps translate the looks even more. And so I was like, oh, okay, great. I agree. But
Because it's that 90s
yeah,
thing too.
yeah.
Like that was part of the look.
Absolutely. Thinned out.
Yep. Or bleached entirely.
Yeah, bleached eyebrows. Yeah. It was only supposed to be for the first 2 days, and we were going to change the bleached eyebrows. It was supposed to go back to brown. Obviously, it stayed. With hair and makeup, like, they are such beautiful artists. Like, again, like, they understood the taste level is aligned. You know, Jenna had her notes, but also just Caesar and Melanie came to the table with what made sense. Like, even like the hair, how it had a bend, you know, that came up last minute. He's like, Caesar's like, does it need a bend or does it, because it was going to either be a straight, but that made those little details make a difference, you know?
It's so crazy.
Yeah. And with the lip, like, it was going to be a nude lip to kind of make it look kind of alien-esque. But then again, she's like, no, Melanie's like, I feel like it needs a lip. And that happens the way it happens, you know? And like, I don't know, there's something just really exciting about those little details that just happen while we're looking in the mirror as she's getting her hair and makeup done.
It also, to me, when I saw that, like, it speaks to a level of, yes, artistry, but also confidence. Confidence for Jenna in herself and her taste level, in her team, and that everyone was working, like, firing on all cylinders, like, really making an editorial look for this big moment. It's splashy. It might be divisive to some people who do not understand, and that's okay. And to be comfortable in that, like, to me, that's a level of confidence that shines through, and I loved it. I mean, the entire editorial team at Who What Wear was like losing their minds over it, and we were just like, thank you for feeding us. Like, this is so good. It's exciting and electrifying to see someone, because it feels so powerful, and it feels like her owning her own power in this way. That is ultimately really inspiring.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I also want to talk about this look, which is a custom tattered t-shirt dress by Zach Posen's Gap Studio.
Yes.
This was for an event celebrating part 2 of season 2's release. As former Gap employee, like, there's just that part of me that makes me so excited about this. I'm assuming that was very special for you too.
Yes.
But tell me how this all came together.
We met Zach Posen at an event, and they were like, we have this dress that we want to get made. It's like a white t-shirt. I was like, oh, that's really cool, but it doesn't really speak to the
project.
To the project that we're doing. Yeah, or the person. It's like really cool, and I love it, and I want to make this happen. And also with timing, it wasn't going to happen. So then I'm like, oh, we're getting another screening in New York in the beginning of September. And so I reached back out, and can we revisit that t-shirt dress? So what about if we do like some type of, not acid wash, they actually do like this environmentally safe tumble wash is what they call it. And like let's make it look like a grunge t-shirt, you know what I mean? Like, let's give it that vibe. They totally were into it, you know? Like, Zach and his team, that is, understood that that's what needed to happen in order for it to work. Yeah, we get there, and she's still on the fence, you know? Like, I think sometimes you have to kind of see it on your own body in order to kind of understand what it's giving.
Well, visualization is hard in that way. And it's like something, like, I can visualize something, I can visualize the outfit, and then I actually go and put it on. I'm like, well, actually, that's not really working the way I thought it was, or vice versa.
Last minute, like, something was missing in that 90s grunge world. It was like, let me see one of your bras. And it was like a lacy bra, and like, we cut it up and we put it underneath that dress. It gave that lace element that spoke to the Wednesday season one. And also, it was such a beautiful dress. It was so beautiful that I was like, I feel like this needs to have some distressing or tattering going on. Like, I feel like
too perfect.
Yeah, it was too perfect. It was beautiful. It could have been anywhere, but that's what I think really kind of took it over the edge. And even Jenna chimed in and was like, yeah, can we slash it around the legs and here? And she was like, yeah, here, you know. Just
so you guys customized it? That's amazing.
Yeah. So
do you have to ask when you do that, or do they just trust you? And
always. I think it's someone's work, and Zach, you know, creative mind put that together. But, you know, I think he was gracious enough to, collaborate with us on that.
That's so
To
cool.
make it the moment that it was.
So I also want to talk about this very Victorian adjacent Vivienne Westwood look for the Paris premiere, which was a chocolate brown gown. I'm going to find a photo of it.
It was actually like a aubergine.
No
like
way.
A deep purple. I know it reads
in my photo. Yeah. Okay,
in a lot of photos, I get that question a lot.
I love that. So it has the corsetry, it has the belt. Talk to me about taking, and this is from the fall 2025 runway, correct?
Yeah.
So how do you make a runway look work for a client like Jenna, where she's obviously not as tall as a runway model, and also you're going to make it your own with accessories and other things. So walk me through that process a little bit.
Well, that look almost didn't happen.
Why?
I'm gonna say that because we did a whole fitting. And then, the event that it was actually was not a premiere. It was a fan event. And, Vivienne Westwood, obviously, they want their looks to be on major red carpets. So they were like, wait, we looked this up. This is a fan event. We'd like to save this dress for another moment. I'm like, we've already fit for this. I don't know. It's going to be a moment. It's like, I know it's set up as a fan event, but it's the Paris event. This is the moment. And so it was a lot of back and forth. Thank you, Vivienne Westwood, for allowing us to wear that, because it did end up getting so much press. So I was really stressed out about that one because it was the night before. And I was like, we could have pivoted and done something else. But that, again, I feel like it was perfect for Paris.
Did you customize it in any way? Talk to me about the accessories, because that is a great necklace. Was that runway?
The necklace was Lori Rodkin. Jenna saw it laying on the bed when we were doing a fitting. She's like,
there we go.
That needs to go on me for this look. And I was like, oh, I didn't know. Again, I bring plethora of options, and she's the one who accessorized. I thought it would be a great option, but I didn't know if it was going to be something that she gravitated to. So
I love how collaborative the two of you are.
Yeah, absolutely. I love fittings with her because
you don't know what the outcome's going to be.
You don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I always make sure that she's covered, and at the end of the day, that we're both happy with it.
What an interesting backstory to that look, though. They're like, wait a second, I don't know about this.
Oh my God, please.
No, we're going to make it a moment.
All of the heads over there, hey, please.
But, that's one of the things that I find so interesting about interviewing folks in your line of work is that I think that the general public has this idea of what styling is, probably based on the Rachel Zoe project back in the day on Bravo. And it's like there's a lot of negotiation. Brands want certain things. They want, and it's not just the right person, it's the right event, and what is the event going to be. And I don't think folks always understand how much of a back and forth that can be, and that you have your strategy, you are incorporating Jenna's strategy, you are perhaps incorporating the project strategy, or thinking about that piece of it, and then there's the brand piece of it, and then everyone, there's so many different inputs that you have to consider. It's not just a matter of I'm going to put this dress on this person and let's go, end of story.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay. So now this is the part that I've been really excited to talk about is all of the Sarah Burton Givenchy looks that have been coming up lately. You have styled Jenna in a number of different Givenchy looks, and we have to talk about it. So first of all, obviously, anyone who has eyes, I'm obsessed with Sarah Burton's work. I love everything that she did at McQueen. I think she is such a genius. And she's now with another very storied fashion house with Givenchy. Why do you think that the combination of Sarah, Givenchy, Jenna, why does that work so beautifully in your mind?
Well, first off, Sarah Burton is such a beautiful human being. When we got to meet her, great. But she knows how to dress women. Yeah. She's a woman who loves women. And if you see her last show, she had a range of different body types on her runway, which I thought was a super beautiful thing. We had a couple premieres before Wednesday, and I was requesting these looks, but they weren't available because you have editorial time. They're just not available. Ad campaigns. And actually,
there might be one garment and it's flying around the world. Absolutely. And it's being shot by Vogue Korea, and then it's going to Elle Australia, and it's flying around the world, and it's first class seat.
Right. So it's it's not available. And I'm like, oh, okay. But the first look that was available was the
Was it the red?
puffer
The black?
sleeve. Yes.
Okay,
And,
just for anyone who doesn't know, this is a black leather 3-piece look with a pencil skirt, a bra, and exaggerated sleeves, which is from the fall 2025 collection.
Yes.
And this was for the photo call for Wednesday in London.
Yes.
It's so sculptural.
Yeah.
It's so daring. It's so strong. It's so stunning.
Yes. That was the first look, actually, that we did before the premiere. And we thought it was going to be like a photo call where you have a bunch of, photographers standing outside, but it was an actual contained, controlled photo shoot. Shot it in a museum in London.
So you had a whole editorial moment photo shoot?
We actually were supposed to be done. Like, we shot with the cast and she shot a couple of, pictures solo, but I was like, please, can we shoot some more in this look?
I have Sarah Burton, Givenchy. Like, we got to get more out of it.
Yes,
please.
Absolutely. So we laid her out. She was on the stairs. She did all kinds of different things. And those images actually ended up being the ones that not only Netflix used, Givenchy loved them. They used them and posted them on their social. It also showed Givenchy that she could still wear a runway look because she's 5'1", and the runway model is,
not,
that kind of opened the door to kind of like, oh, okay.
So
cool.
like once they saw what you could do.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden it's like, okay. And that's also the first time you had worked with her, especially at Givenchy.
Yeah,
so there's a new level of trust that has to happen.
Absolutely.
And a relationship that has to be built.
To be very respectful of that.
And it was built after that, I bet.
Yeah, they were super happy. I was super happy. Jenna was super happy. And, Jenna being a fan of Sarah Burton and her work.
I want to know, too, about this red sheer look, also Givenchy. That is from the current collection, and she wore this to the 2026 show.
Yes.
Talk to me about, how do you go about, like, did they assign you a look?
Again, after the Emmys.
Which we're going to get to.
Yeah, after the Emmys look, which was such a moment, they invited her to the show. And we were like, great. When you go to the show, you usually wear the last collection. You choose selects from the last collection. So I was totally open for that. But, Sarah actually reached out and was like, I would like to make her a look or two from the new collection for the show. I would love to dress her.
Like, just for the folks at home, like, I really want to nail this, hammer this home. Like, that is major.
Yeah,
that is like trust and acceptance and appreciation and mutual. Like, I mean, that is unlocking a huge moment for a client, for yourself as well. Like, that is very brand building.
Yeah, absolutely. And
world
when
building.
She's walking into the show, that's the first time anyone's seeing that look
peek.
before it even walked the runway. And so again, we super humbled by that.
So I also want to talk about one of my favorite looks of all time, which is the look that Jenna wore to the Emmys, right? So first of all, have you seen the movie Death Becomes Her?
Absolutely.
Is this a reference?
So
is this giving Isabella Rossellini?
I always thought that in my head. I didn't think that the fashion world was gonna actually pick up that reference. I actually was gonna post it on my Instagram, like, hey,
to school everyone.
I was gonna be like, living my Isabella Rossellini, Death Becomes Her Dreams. But before I could even get there, they were like going in and tagging me and stuff. And it was great to see because she's a huge fan of her as an actor and the movie. Obviously,
the movie's everything.
Yeah.
So talk to me about this, because first of all, I read that it weighed like 20 or 30 pounds.
Yeah, super heavy.
This is the most daring or revealing in some ways. So talk to me about how the two of you came to pick this look and then know that it was right, and then also like get it placed correctly. Because
that was stressful.
I would imagine.
Yeah. So again, I've been gunning for that look for months. So after the puff sleeve, doors were open, and so
now suddenly it was available.
It was available after all the editorials, campaigns, and everything. I was like, hey, we have the Emmys coming up. Can this look be available? And they said yes. It's a work of art. Like that can't be tailored or anything. It has to either work or not.
Oh, right.
So like then I'm like, okay, cool. They ship it to
I can't even imagine
New York
in
this huge crate that needs to be rolled. So the look is paired with some trousers on the runway. So I just asked Givenchy, can you send a couple different versions, maybe leather, like a tuxedo pant, maybe just something for the evening. And so wheeling this coffin up to Jenna's room, and she's like, opens the door like, what
delivery
is this? I was like, this is the look. And so it took even to open up the container and to like undo all the packaging. It came with a whole docket of like how to package it and unpackage it and how to place it on someone. And you need 2 to 3 people. So I had to call, her assistant, Lizzie, to come and help. And so she was helping me in this fitting. And so we placed it on her body, and I'm like, what? It totally works. This is crazy. Obviously, there needed to be some nip tucking everywhere, like just to make sure that everything's placed properly. But
modesty
honestly,
standards.
Yeah. But she was like, this is really heavy.
I mean, talk about a weighted vest.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. But she's always such a trooper. But the one thing she did, which again, I love that it's a collaborative, conversation. She was like, I love the trousers. She's like, but I feel like it needs to maybe be a skirt of some sort. And again, we're going back to Sarah Burton saying, hey,
we'd like to interpret your runway vision.
Right. She said, yeah. She's like, I would love to make her a custom. I think she made her 2 skirt options, which was really great. And it was one high-waisted and one low-waisted because, again, in my head, I'm like, we've never shown like midriff or belly button. So she had 2 options for us. And it was up to the day, 10 minutes before we're deciding, are we doing the low-waisted one or are we doing the high-waisted one? And we ended up on the low.
Well, it was a triumph.
Yeah, thank you.
That was, I mean, like breath taken away, incredible. Because again, it's art, it's sophisticated, it's stunning, it's interesting. It is the opposite of a mermaid dress in a jewel tone.
Yeah.
And, like that is the sort of like fashion directional editorial moment that, again, we do not always see on a mainstream red carpet. And it looked so beautiful and so cool and so interesting and all at the same time. So I was just like,
thank you.
Yes.
Like we're always really happy when it's received well.
Well, I don't want to give away any of your future strategy, but I'm curious now that we've just concluded a fashion month. Are there any collections or trends or any hints that you can give us at things that you've been looking at that have caught your eye? You don't have to give me like an exact look number because I know you want to keep that to yourself. Is there anything that you were really excited about that you saw over the course of fashion month this season?
Loewe, Bottega, Calvin Klein, Acne, Grace Ling. She's a designer based in New York. I think she's really creative and she finds innovative ways to create her looks. It was great to be at Jonathan Anderson's first show of Dior. Like, wow, that was very exciting to be in that room, Yeah.
I also want to talk a little bit about styling some of Jenna's more quote unquote low-key looks. The ones that aren't necessarily for like those big marquee red carpet moments. Are there certain brands that you lean on? How do you think about the strategy for, it's a press look, it's still a major moment, but it's not like the red carpet. It's interviews.
Yeah, I think Jenna, since she put some pretty hard parameters when it comes to that, I think, which I love because I know that when I'm pulling for like a smaller press moment that sometimes my crazy ideas don't make sense for this. So I really kind of stay in super chic. Again, I go back to her personal style, which is, clean lines, simple, even that 90s aesthetic. Carolyn Bessette Kennedy kind of, she loves just simple statement. Not even statement.
Simple foundational
pieces. Like that's just her vibe.
Doesn't need to shout.
Yeah.
Just make it chic.
That's her all day. I'm the one who kind of wants to put an exclamation point on things. And I'm like,
really?
Hey, we have to have a moment. Yeah, you know what I mean? So she's like,
you putting her in a 30-pound bejeweled top.
You sound like her right now. I got a text from her because we're going back and forth about Academy Gala tomorrow. She said, I want to wear something
I can sit in.
Cool. I want to wear something. What's the word she used? Hold on.
You tell me.
She's like, but I would love to wear something practical one day. And I said, you know what?
You're like, practical magic?
Yeah,
What kind of what version of
right,
practical do we
whimsical.
mean?
Like,
Practical on Mars?
yeah.
Like, okay.
So
You've had so many amazing moments with her over the last couple of years. When you look back, like, what are you most proud of? I'm always so interested in like what part really resonates for you as an artist.
I think the relationship that we've had and how we're growing, and I think in Hollywood, I feel like it's a very fickle place, and I feel like very transactional, and it can be, and sometimes it should be, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the relationship, it's a testament to like the respect and love we have for each other, because I feel like a lot of people say like, oh, you just do a really great job with her. I'm like, no, I think it's because we understand and we've known each other for so long, and
we do a great job together.
Yeah, we do a great job together. It feels like we're hanging out sometimes just in fittings, and I'm really proud of our relationship, because in this world, like, people like, oh, I'm gonna hire another stylist, or I'm gonna hire this because I want a different look. And I think that's fine. I think that's great. Everyone should do what they want to do. But I think also sometimes just having a person that understands you, and I feel like some of the best collaborations come from people who have worked with each other for a long time, because they push each other in different directions, and they're like, oh, I think you should do this. And like, versus finding someone else who, you kind of have to start over. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
We call it institutional knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because like, where the bodies are buried, where the references are, where the stories are. Like, you are steeped in the history of the person and their experiences and their insecurities and their proud moments, and every beat that she's hit, so you're not going to repeat it. Like, you don't have to learn the lore, you don't have to read the book, because you were there for every page of it being created. We were in a glam moment one time, and like, I can say 2 words, but I don't even finish my sentence, and she's like, oh, is it too much like it's kind of like the Devil Wears Prada and Miranda Priestley and Meryl Streep and Stanley Tucci's character, and she's like, is it too much like oh no, I thought that, but like, they're speaking in code. And someone said that on set when they're like, you guys, I want to know what you guys are talking about. You guys don't even finish your sentence. You guys speak in code or something. And I'm like, oh shit, we kind of do. Like, because we just understand and we know the references of what we're talking about or what we wanted to do. And I think that's really special, because it keeps things interesting. Yeah. Well, I love it. That sounds very healthy.
Yeah, it is. It is. And
like, therapeutically healthy.
It is. It's great.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm just going to keep making you come back over and over and over again, because we always have so much to talk about.
Yeah, it's so great. You're just such a joy every time I see you.
The pleasure is truly mine.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.